Welcome to 2 cents short of a dollar, the show where we give our 2 cents and keep it 100. We're your hosts. That's Motiz. I'm Rue. Today, special episode, we want to do a double fight prediction. So that's going to be Jermall Charlo and Jose Benavidez Jr. and Demetrius Andrade versus David Benavidez. So the fight's coming up Saturday. We have the co-main with I want to call him Little Benavidez, but he's actually the older brother. But so I'm gonna just call him Junior. We got the co-main with Junior, and then we got the main event with David at 168. So I'm looking at it, and I think the co-main actually stole the presser because really Jose's, he's been acting like he's on Jerry Springer. So did you see it? What's your opinion on the co-main? And then after that, we could talk about the main.
Yeah, it was very entertaining, from start to finish, especially with Jermall and Jose,
Jermall,
drawing at each other.
Mall, yeah.
Maul, yeah. Jermall, and Jose kind of drawing at each other. Even before then, right, when they had that virtual meet and they were kind of just going crazy at each other, I was like, yeah, this is definitely going to be, entertaining for sure. So they definitely stole the press conference. It's very interesting. Jose getting up and approaching him, like that was kind of like, come on, bro. You had a pressure, there's gonna be security, right? But I'm really excited more for the co-main than the actual main event. What about
Interesting. I'm more excited for the main event, but the co-main, the drama is entertaining, right? Like I said, it feels like it's Jerry Springer or Maury or something. Jose, like you said, getting up, approaching Charlo. But I think what kind of surprised me is how calm Charlo's demeanor was. Even though Jermall, in my opinion, has always been calmer than Jermell, but he tends to blow up too. So he was just staying real calm, and I know he's been through a lot, and Benavidez came at his mental health, which I thought wasn't really cool. But all that to the side, they got to get in the ring and they got to fight. They're gonna fight at 163 pounds, which I think allows Charlo to cut weight, but also allows him some wiggle room for comfort. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I haven't had to cut down to 160 in a while. I've been overdoing going to 168. So now I got this 163 for some wiggle room. I think he's gonna probably come in at like maybe 162. I think he's gonna maybe come in closer to 162 than 163. But I think that goes in his favor. And I do think we get somewhat of an action-packed fight though. I think Jose is just he's gonna try to bring the action. I actually heard Danny Garcia say something that I really agreed with. He said the thing with Jose is, he's solid, but he's there to be hit. And then I think that is going to be the issue because Maul is a heavy hitter, and I think for Benavidez first fight at this weight, particularly this catch weight, I think he's going to take some big hits. So I guess I'll just give my prediction now, then I'll let you go. Right now, I'm leaning towards. Well, I got Jermall winning. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the stoppage, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be like a beat down stoppage. I do think he's going to win the fight. I don't think it's going to be like one of those punishment stoppages. I think it might be like I catch you with something, put you to sleep stoppages. So what do you think about that fight?
So what's interesting is Jermall actually talked about this as well, which had me speculating that the 163 catch weight, the reason why it's there is because he may potentially be moving up to 168. So the closer he can get to 168 will make it easier for him to fight at 168, which I didn't necessarily kind of anticipate, right? I thought it was just more so he's just trying to, it might be hard for him to make 160.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but Senior said initially that Charlo was trying to get the fight at 166 or 167. I heard Senior say that, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that makes sense because he mentioned something like that. I might be going up, so I want to see how this weight is before I make that next jump. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, between the two fighters, Jermall has not been in the ring for over 3 years, bro. That's a long time, and I don't know. He said he's been training for the past several months, but you may not necessarily be as sharp. You got to lose weight. You got to go in that bright lights. You got to fight. I don't know what that's going to do to kind of hinder his sharpness, his reflexes, his timing, right? His power is still going to be there, but what also kind of concerns me is his gas tank, right? is he gonna be able to sustain a fight for I believe this fight's 10 rounds,
I
right?
think it's 10 rounds as well.
Right. So is he gonna be able to sustain a fight for 10 rounds if need be, right? Because we know Jose Benavidez, the Benavidez brothers, they do have a large tank. But both of them, like you mentioned, Jose, but also David, they are there to be hit as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that like Mexican style that they have in them. And I think that would allow, of course, Jermall to kind of land big shots. And I'm really banking on Jermall's power, especially his right hand to kind of I definitely see him dropping Jose Benavidez one or more times throughout the fight. And I think ultimately he will win. I do have him winning. I'm gonna go with. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a KO, right? But just for the sake of just being different, I probably will go with decision.
Yeah.
More decision.
I think if he was fighting maybe a true 60-pounder or something like that, I would have probably leaned towards like a decision because I do expect some ring rust. But I just think, and I know Jose said it was hard for him to make 54. I just think, like just jumping up weight classes like this, I just think
Yeah, the
it can
punching power is
it
gonna
can
be
backfire, you know what I'm
yeah
saying? Because we all know Danny Garcia has a granite chin, but he wasn't like backing Danny Garcia up or hurt, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah
and then I just think, going up so to 163, that's 9 pounds more than 54. I think it's a lot of weight. You're dealing with a big puncher, and Jermall has some good counters. Obviously, you probably have to get his rhythm and his timing, but when someone's kind of there to be hit, you know what I'm saying? This is not like countering Shakur the way he fought the other night. This is countering someone who's going to be right in front of you trying to press the action. Yeah.
yeah
I,
100%.
I,
100%. I'll be shocked if Jose Benavidez trained differently for this camp, right? To try to outbox Jermall, right? That would probably be the smartest thing to kind of like, okay, we're gonna look to kind of outbox this guy and kind of take him to deep waters. I'll
yeah.
be surprised though, because I don't think Jose Benavidez is that intellectually a smart fighter, right? I don't think he's on that level, nor does he have the skill set to be able to like because he has a good amateur pedigree, right? But in terms of just boxing,
Yeah.
and outboxing Jermall for that whole duration of the fight. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but yeah. Honestly, I think in your prediction might probably come more. It's more likely your prediction is closer to happening compared to mine. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with the safe route here.
I, I see that as a bit of an issue for Jose as well. I don't think he's jealous of his brother. I think he's super supportive and happy for his brother, but it's almost like he's still trying to prove like, I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I didn't no issues with that, no qualms with that. But I'm just saying, like, even just the way he's moving, how he's just, like trying to bring this drama and press this action. It's like he's trying to prove something, not only to Charlo, but maybe to himself. And I was just like watching his interviews. He seems like real fidgety and weird. And I don't know if he's just like anxious, like he wants to prove something so bad. Sometimes when that when you're in that mode, man, it backfires. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. But moving on to the main event, though, Boo Boo said these are the two best fighters at 168. Some may agree, some may disagree. What I do know is this is a pretty interesting fight because I think it's a clash of styles, right? So David Benavidez, at the top of the year, he fought Caleb Plant. I think Boo Boo's last fight was Damon Nicholson. So right now they're going head to head, and I guess the hopes are the winner will probably get Canelo Alvarez or whatever. But Canelo to the side, these guys are going to clash, right? You got Benavidez who wants to come forward, bring the pressure. You got Boo Boo who southpaw and I think can actually switch hit. You know what I'm saying? He can be elusive, awkward style, different angles. You know what I'm saying? So when they come head to head on Saturday, how do you see this one going?
So my prediction is out front, just to kind of get it out the way. I got Benavidez winning by decision. Right, today's a decision day. I'm gonna go with Benavidez by decision. I could potentially see Benavidez stopping Andre, but I do think Andre has enough. I would say enough experience where he can survive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm gonna go with Benavidez beating Andre by unanimous decision. And
Okay.
I think Benavidez he's just the experiences he's developed in recent years, fighting top tier caliber fighters, is definitely going to work to his advantage, right? I think the sheer volume of how many punches he throws around and how he starts to kind of set on as the fight continues is going to be a major issue for Andre, especially if Andre being an awkward fighter, but he picks his punches, right? He don't really like throw a lot of punches, and I wasn't necessarily impressed with his last performance against Nicholson. So I'm going Andre. I mean, I'm going
Benavidez.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this fight, I actually see Benavidez going down early on the cards, in my opinion. But I, if you watch the Caleb Plant fight, you can make a case that Benavidez was down like 5 rounds to 0, and then like won the next 7 rounds. I don't think it's going to be that far, but I can see him going down a couple of rounds. But like Benavidez, sometimes he just walks straight forward towards you. Like not even like trying to cut off the ring. He's just straight walking to you, like he's like Michael Myers or something. And I think Boo Boo's movement is going to get him points on activity, movement. He's probably going to hit him from some different angles, but I don't think he can. I mean, Boo Boo can punch. I don't think he's going to really hurt Benavidez, though. I look at the fight versus Demond Nicholson. Even though he put Demond Nicholson down, I think a few times, like when Demont kind of punched him back, you can kind of see those punches kind of taking set, even though Nicholson's not very, compared to the top of the division, I wouldn't consider him a very good fighter, but you can see the punches kind of having an effect on Andrade. And what people say about Benavidez is he may not be the one punch knockout guy, but the punches accumulate. They accumulate. And so I can see those punches accumulate and kind of slowing Andrade down. And then, I feel like the later in the fight, the more you're going to see that distance close instead of, fighting in the center of the ring. They're going to just be like, like very close. And then Benavidez, if I had to guess, he probably has the reach advantage. And then coming out of like clinches, he's probably going to be first to attack, similar to what was happening in the Plant fight. So I see Benavidez going down early. Probably a little bit of the footwork issues, favoring Andre, but I think eventually they're just going to have to fight. They're going to be in close. They're going to have to fight. I think Benavidez is better fighting on the inside than Andrade is, and I think he's going to wear him down. And I do also have him winning by decision. I don't think he's going to stop him. I think Andrade is just too savvy. He'll be able to hang on if he's in trouble and just figure out how not to get stopped, a la Caleb Plant. But I think Benavidez. Now I'll go. I want to say unanimous. But let's say majority, right? Majority is if there's like one draw and then two people go towards Benavidez.
Yeah, I believe so. I always get confused the majority decision, majority split. Like it's kind of weird to me. But
anyway, I got somebody seeing it as a tie, and I got two people going for Benavidez. So I got Benavidez winning that fight, and then obviously he's gonna call out Canelo afterwards. But I know Senior also said, if they can't get that fight at 168, they're looking to move up to 75 and fight Bivol.
Yeah, and that'll be definitely an interesting fight because I don't think Canelo's going to fight Benavidez. He's been ducking him all this time. He's not looking to fight. Yeah. I'll tell you this though: if Andre was to somehow beat Benavidez, I think Canelo will probably jump at the task to probably fight Andre, right? Even though the infamous Payday, that. Right, I think he will fight Andre before he fights Benavidez.
Yo, I actually think if Andre beats Benavidez, I don't think Canelo's gonna want no parts of Andre.
No, I think he'll fight.
I think he'll wait for Maul to come to 68 and fight Jermall.
He might do that too. I'm not gonna lie. I think he would do that too.
He'll probably fight Maul. Crazy. Berlanga's not PBC anymore, but I heard it's not about to be any PBC. But yeah, I think let's say if Andre goes out there and beats Benavidez and looks really good and dominant in it, and Canelo's not gonna fight Andre. I don't think so.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, me personally, I think Canelo would take the Andre fight, but I think unless like Andre viciously dismantles Benavidez, which I don't see happening, right? But yeah, I think he would, but more than like he would take an easier fight in Jermall than before he fights Andre at this point. So definitely I'm excited to see the fight. I'm excited to see, how Andre performs, right? Especially since, he's been claiming people has been ducking him for years, right? He hasn't really been getting the big fights, right? But now it's his time to prove himself. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Yeah. All right. So, jump in the comment section. Tell us who you got in the co-main and in the main, how you see those fights going. And, we'll try to, respond to the comments, probably have a little bit of dialogue. We'll get this one out maybe, few days or a day in advance to the fight, so we can have a little bit of back and forth dialogue. But continue to support the channel, growing rapidly. So like, comment, subscribe. 2 cents short of $1, and we're out.